everyone, welcome to my channel, and today I want to show you my 24 hours of reading. Yeah, it's with sleeping, with eating and something else, so I don't think that it will last maybe 2 days. I think it will be last more because sometimes I have to do some householding and my job. So but at least I want to try. And maybe it will be not just reading but also listening of books, so I can continue without distracting to something else. And I decided to pick two books. They are not so big, and my English needs to be improved, and I am not a fast reader of English books, so that's why I decided to pick one book in English and one book in Ukrainian. The first book that I've chosen is Sally Rooney, Normal People. I know that this book has many different reviews. Some people adore this book, some people hate this book, some people don't understand this book. So I want to decide what is this book for me. So I decided to try it. And I don't really know the plot of this book, so I want to read the annotation of this book. Connell and Marianne grow up in the same small town in the west of Ireland, but there's similarities and there. In school, Connell is popular and well liked, while Marianne is a loner. But when the two strike up a conversation, awkward but electrifying, something life-changing begins. Normal People is a story of mutual fascination, friendship and love. It takes us from that first conversation to the years beyond in the company of two people who try to stay apart but find they can't. Actually, it slightly reminds me the book which called One Day, but I don't think that it's similar to it. So I want to try. And the second book that I've chosen is T.J. Newman, Falling. It's a detective, a thriller, and the annotation is rather interesting. But I've seen that many people rate this book like 3 stars of 5, and I no doubt about this book, but also I want to decide by my side if I like it or not. So, and the plot of this book, you just boarded a flight to New York. There are 143 other passengers on board. What you don't know is that 30 minutes before the flight, your pilot's family was kidnapped. For his family to live, everyone on your plane must die. The only way the family will survive is if the pilot follows his orders and crashes the plane. Enjoy the flight. Isn't it gripping? So I think it reminds me the serial that I've seen. So I think it would be interesting. At least I hope. And let's start reading. So it's I have my old watches. It's 22:02 and we start. So it's 3 o'clock and I'm on the page 45. Actually, normally I read about 50 pages for 1 hour, but like I said, this book is in English and I've been reading faster. What have I read? There are two main characters, Connell and Marianne. Connell's family is poor, but he is popular in school, he has friends, and Marianne is in rich family, but she has no friends, and Connell is the only person who she is talking. And somehow they start a relationship, but Connell don't want to someone in school know about it, and Marianne agrees, but I don't understand this because I don't know, maybe because they are teenagers and this is so important for them, but as for me, why should they hide it? And I don't know. And also Connell is really addicted from the meaning of others. He doesn't know which university to choose. He just want to fit in the system, to be with his friends and so on. And Marianne is unlike, she doesn't care about the meaning of others, and she just does what she wants. So let's continue. So it's 22:05 and it's been 2 hours and I'm on the page 95, and since the last page these two characters, Connell and Marianne, so they broke up for some reason. They entered to the college, the same college, but they haven't chatted to each other, and the one day they've met and they've started to chat, and one day they've met, and since then they've started again to communicate with each other. So, and my first impression about this book, so it's almost a half of this book. It has 2066 pages, and I don't know, I think that this book is a little bit boring, and it's more like a script for the film or serial, but not the book. And because there is no like a plot, there are just some actions, conversations, talkings, life of teenagers, and I don't know, but I want to read it to the end and to share with you my opinion. So let's continue. Okay, so it's 8:15, and I finished this book, and my whole impression about it, it's I think I didn't get it. I don't know. So, like I said, the plot, there isn't any plot. There are just some events, conversations, life of these two people, and I don't know. There is a huge vibe of One Day by David Nichols, but I don't know. I think It seems to me like a parody to some collection of books, and I don't know why it has so many prizes and nominates and so on. I don't know. Like I said, I think that I didn't get it. It's simple to read. It has simple dialogues, and it's more like the script to the TV show than a book. So I give it 3 stars of 5. And the next one is Falling by T.J. Newman. I hope that I will like this book more than the previous one. So let's start. Hello everyone again. It's 10:30 in the evening and I'm on the page 85 of this book, and I like it. I like the beginning. So the main character is Bill Hoffman. He is a pilot, and he was threatened that his family will die if he doesn't make the plane crash. So he obviously hesitated. He doesn't know what to do, how to do correctly, and he makes a plan, and I hope everyone survived this in the end. And it's a vibe of the serial Hill Jack. It's really similar, but I like it, and it's fast-paced. And I think that I will meet you tomorrow. I'm going to go to sleep, and it's been almost 9 hours, and I think that I can finish this book, and I suppose that I can also read the third one. So see you tomorrow. Hello everyone again. It's the next day of our 24 hours of reading, and it's almost 1 o'clock. But I've started about an hour 10 minutes ago, so I'm on the page 153, and I think that I like this book. It has plot twists, but sometimes some things are predictable, but it's interesting. So about the plot, our pilot is struggle between saving the life of his family or saving the lives of the passengers of this plane, and it's difficult to tell the plot because it's a thriller and I don't want to tell some spoilers, but things are going, and everyone still live. And we have 10 hours of reading in total, so I think that I'm doing great. And maybe I can choose another book, but at first I need to finish this one, so let's continue. Okay, so it's 22:04 and I finished this one, Falling. I liked it. It was a great adventure, and I think this is the first thriller that I've read where terrorists are not the evil of the world. They are also people, and they were raised a political topic. about different nations. So I think this is the first book where you can even maybe not sympathize, but you can understand their actions and why they did it. So it's interesting, and I know that this book is the first book of the author, and I think that she did it great. So I liked it, and my rate is 4 or 5 stars. So, and we have 10 hours left. So I think that I can choose some books also. And the next book is Anthony Horowitz, Magpie Murders. But I've read more than half of this book, so it's left a little piece of it. I think it's maybe like 200 pages left, but I'm afraid to choose another big one because I think that I couldn't finish it. So I think I will finish this book, and then maybe I choose another one with 300 or something pages. So let's continue. Hello everyone again. So it's the third day of my 24 hours of reading, and I have finished this one, Anthony Horowitz, Magpie Murders. I have 6 hours left. I liked this book. It was interesting, unusual. The first part of this book is another novel, so it's like book in the book, and it's interesting. And the editor found this novel on her table, read it, but there was a lack of last pages, so we don't know who is the murderer. And in the another half of the book, this editor decides to find out what happened with the last pages, but also she found out that the author of this book is dead. But there are strange circumstances about his death, and she decides to be involved in it, and to be like a detective in the author's book. So it's interesting, and I really enjoyed the book. And it's 10 to 2. So like I said, I have 6 hours left, and I decided to pick the non-fiction book, and I think that it's enough time to finish it, and it will be interesting. I've decided to pick this one. Look at this, it's gorgeous. So it's the short story of women artists, a pocket guide to movements, works, breakthroughs and themes. It's in Russian, so I think that I will be through it for 6 hours. So let's start. Hello again, and it's been 6 hours, and I finally finished my 24 hours marathon, and I finished this book about the women in the art, because you know, how many of you have ever heard about women in the art, like some famous artists? Maybe you can name Frida Kahlo and that's all. Or maybe it will be great if I am wrong. So, but this book shows us as different movements, artists, backgrounds, and so on. So it was really interesting to know these women, and I think that in the future maybe I will learn about it more, about some of them. So in total I have 4 books. So I think I can say 3.5 finished books. So it's Falling, T.J. Newman, Anthony Horowitz, Magpie Murders, Sally Rooney, Normal People, and Susie Hodge, the short story of women artists. So it was great. It was an interesting experiment for me, and it took 3 days, like to finish the 24 hours of reading. But it's rather difficult because I felt a pressure, like that you must finish this, you must read for like 6 hours, and it's kind of difficult, but it's a huge kick to read more, and I think that this is my record. So I liked it, and I hope that you enjoyed. Maybe you can tell me some ideas of which video you want to see. That's all for today. Subscribe on my channel, follow me on the Instagram, and goodbye.